Molaa is proud to present Guillermo Bert, the Barcode series, blurring the boundary between cultures and commodities, on view in the Lexus Gallery from May 17 to August 2nd. More than 20 mixed media works comprise the exhibition, and they explore the use of North and South American iconic symbols, either encoded or branded, as consumer goods of cultures.
Then when I started developing this series, I didn't expect it to go this far. I mean, how far I can go with a barcode, I thought. But then, you know, like different angles, American symbols, architecture, the other idea of El Dorado, which combined with pre-Columbian elements, and then it started going in different directions. I was born in Chile, and I grew up there. I went to college. Unfortunately, when I went to college, already was the Pinochet regime, and many of the good professors left the country, or some of them were expelled from the country. So that part of it was, you know, it sort of like helped you to create like certain consciousness about, you know, all the issues with society. Particularly within the 70s, before Allende, before Pinochet with Allende, and then, you know, then Pinochet, it was very, society was very polarized. So everybody has to take a position. Then I went to college. I was in high school, and then I went to college, and the college years were difficult because as an artist, and you wanted to express your point of view, and you sort of do certain pieces related with what happening, even directly or indirectly. And in my case, everything was about alienation, about isolation, and all of that. That was the series of work that I was doing there. It was reflecting all my experience with this hostile environment. In Latin America in general, we have this more social conscious view of society. And I've been working in political cartoonist and some other areas that, you know, you always keep me in touch with politics and social content. So always infuse some critique or some kind of ironic view, or there's always like a social vision of society. So what happened with the last administration, that everything polarized, and then, you know, you have to kind of have a voice into your art to what's going on. When you talk about the pre-Columbian art, I mean, it was made with gold leaf, you know, and then there's also the European tradition of the Baroque, and the churches in Latin America in general had that kind of quality where they have angels and this and that, all covered with gold, and the altars are all, you know, oversaturated with gold. So that's kind of aesthetic that is really present in my mind. When I create these works. This new series of barcodes related to, it's called El Dorado, which is a sub-series within the barcode series. El Dorado talked to the idea of the, you know, like connect those worlds, the pre-Columbian, the indigenous, the Native Americans. They connected with the idea of the globalization, whereas the new trend where all the corporation has a free pass to go around the planet and do whatever they want financially. There's not a lot of regulations that control that. So I was questioning, and I was concerned about what's going to happen with the native cultures of different corners of the world.
This work of art, titled El Dorado No. 1, is based on the time when the Spanish conquistadors arrived to the new land, and their search for gold became known as the El Dorado. Many of the indigenous populations in the Andean mountain regions were rich with natural resources, such as gold and silver, with which they used both as a source of economic trading and as religious objects and ceremonial practices. The central icon in this work is a Mapuche ornamental piece of jewelry, probably worn as a large breastplate or collar by a religious female leader or shaman. The Mapuche Indians are also known for their strong convictions as a tribal community that has historically resisted domination, both in 1540 from the Spanish and again in the 1870s from the Chilean government.
Well, in this particular piece, you know, we see Bush there, and then you can essentially see where the real motivation of the war in Iraq, which essentially was the thirst for oil. And, you know, Bush with Cheney and all these Texans, you know, were into Iraq for the oil. with the promises or the fake, proposition that this was to extend or expand democracy around the world. Well, during the last administration, there was a number of, sort of like they created this whole language that deal with the idea of fear. They created a concept of fear that it was very present through the entire administration. The war happened, the attacks in the Twin Towers, and everything was developing this concept of like Patriot Act or collateral damage. And the idea of the globalization is a new element in the language too. So I thought that those are very characteristic of the process that we're suffering.
This work, titled A Well-Oiled Machine, is directly related to the artist's criticism of the Bush administration's initiation of the Iraq War. Thus, the portrait is of President George Bush, with his image appearing on both a slot machine and a gas station pump. The artist portrays Bush as a cowboy or wild Texan maverick, with the gas pump handles as his pistols or six-shooters ready for a duel. Over his eyes are the slot machine icons of $1 sign and 3 X's, suggesting that Bush is also a gambler seeking instant gratification, ready to win the jackpot. Below the portrait appears the words oil democracy, confirming Bert's condemnation of the Bush policies as imperialistic pursuits of economic and military dominance.
Okay, in this particular piece, I mean, what I'm interested to point out is the fact that the barcode loses all contact with human, if you wish. It's just a shape, it's just a pattern in the wall. If you read it, I mean, it's contained the word democracy, and you can scan it out, and actually it's been encrypted in there with the software. But the way you see it is just totally an abstract form. And then, I think that the point is that, it lost humanity, it lost total contact with humans. And in fact, when you actually encrypted the code into the software, ask you if you want it to be read by humans, or you might choose not to. And I choose not to. I mean, this is a machine. The machine will read it. But at the same time, I think that the fact that it's a pattern, I thought about pattern for democracy, so like a way to get to democracy. But this is like a design pattern, so it's become like just a vacuum concept.
All the works on view in this exhibition are charged with political commentary and/or social questioning about ideologies, public policies, and social economic values. The artist encourages the viewer to reconsider how we today are forming and shaping a world ideology that is operating within a marketplace. The artist is stressing the point that only those with access to technology are the ones who have access to information, and we all know that today in our contemporary society, information is one of our most significant commodities.